Hi, I'm Matt with ApplianceVideo.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the blower assembly on this Whirlpool Swash clothing care system. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for proper voltage. Remember to also turn off the water. You will need the following tools before you begin this repair: a 1/4-inch nut driver, a T20 Torx driver, and a flathead screwdriver. A defective blower assembly will typically cause your garments to come out damp at the end of a cycle. It can also become noisy when the blower is bad. To begin this repair, the first thing we're going to do is remove the back panel. To begin this repair, the first thing we're going to do is just remove the drawer. Set that off to the side. Then we're going to go ahead and remove all the Torx screws around the perimeter of the back panel. All right, now that you've got your screws removed, just go ahead and remove the back panel. Now that we've got the unit laid on its back, we've got access to the screws that hold the bottom housing to the frame. I'm going to go ahead and remove the 1/4-inch screws around the perimeter of the housing. Once our screws are removed, let's grab the housing and set it off to the side. To gain access to the heater and blower assembly, we have to first remove the lower drawer housing. This is the difficult part here. First thing you're going to do is disconnect your harness that's going to it. And you're going to remove the 4 Torx screws that hold it to the cabinet. Now once your screws are removed, you can see it doesn't really want to just slide out. So you have to really almost flex one side of it. So typically what you can do is get a flathead screwdriver or a tack puller, kind of get in there and start working it down. Once you get it a little ways, you can get a second screwdriver in there and continue to kind of work it down here. Good thing is, if there is any damage or scratching done, it doesn't really matter because this is on the bottom side of the unit. You're never going to see it anyways. Should get it out. Just want to try to do your best not to damage and bend out the cabinet a whole lot. Otherwise, you're going to have a real hard time getting your screws to line up with the screw holes on this. So once this is removed, we'll go ahead and set this aside. Now we've got complete access to our blower assembly. First thing we're going to do is just go ahead and disconnect the harness to the blower and also your harness to the heater. And we've only got one other thing that's going to be holding it on, which is going to be this ground wire here. I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. Just a 1/4-inch screw. Once that's removed, we're going to just remove the 1/4-inch screws that run around the perimeter of the housing. Once all your screws are removed, go ahead and pull the heater and blower assembly out. Now we've got our new blower assembly. We'll go ahead and install it. Just gonna kind of set it in place. I'm gonna go ahead and get a 1/4 screw in. That's just gonna hold it. And continue putting the rest of the 1/4 screws in. Once all your perimeter screws are installed, we'll go ahead and reinstall your ground. The ground screw actually has a much finer thread to it than the rest of the 1/4 screws, in case you get them mixed up. It's more of a machine screw. And reconnect your harnesses. Make sure everything's kind of tucked away. Now we're ready to go ahead and reinstall our bottom housing. Now we're ready to reinstall our drawer housing. And what we're gonna do, the wiring goes up this back side here. So you're gonna start with the right-hand side. You're gonna fit that up under the lip there, like that. And now this is kind of the difficult part, is trying to get the rest of this housing back under. Basically, if you start with a flathead screwdriver, kind of pull it over, and then do the same thing towards the bottom. Should be able to just kind of flip it back into place there. So now you're locked underneath. And this is just a matter of getting your 4 Torx screws back in. Best way to do it is to try to get one started. But leave it loose. And then go to the opposite corner. Get that one in. Now at this point, your other two should be somewhat aligned. All right, then go ahead and tighten this one back up. And you're gonna go ahead and reconnect your Molex down here. Now we're ready to reinstall our bottom cover. Now we're going to go ahead and reinstall our bottom housing. And you got a little tab right here. It's going to correspond with a hole. Slip it up in there. And we're going to go ahead and install our 5/4 screws around the perimeter. And this doesn't have one here because that's where your power cord is at. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and flip the unit upright. Now we can go ahead and reinstall our back panel. Now we'll go ahead and reinstall your 8 Torx screws. Next, we're going to go ahead and reinstall the drawer. And that's going to complete the repair. Thank you for watching another quality video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.